Well, greetings. This is Robert Farrell, LPC Supervisor, and I am welcoming you to Supervision. This is, I'm not even sure which number this is. I've made several of these already. In any case, today we're looking at client education, and this one's not going to be overly long, so I'm going to kind of dive into it. If you are one of my associates that I am helping to supervise for the state, then I'd probably ask you to watch this. If you are not, then by all means, watch, enjoy. Hopefully you'll get something from it. The idea behind these is that they are demonetized. They are intended to give my LPC associates information and help them grow as they become counselors. Okay, so let's just kind of dive into this one. All right, so we are going to be talking about client education, and I wanted to bring in this quote. It doesn't matter if you like Donald Rumsfeld or not. He made a statement about information and knowledge that he got made fun of a good bit, but it's so very true. And he stated, there are known knowns. These are things we know that we know. There are known unknowns. That is to say, there are things that we know we don't know. But there are also unknown unknowns. There are things we don't know we don't know. And this is really the crux of client education when it comes to counseling. We are helping them improve that knowledge base, not only about psychological issues, mental health problems, breaking down the mythologies and the stereotypes, but we're also helping them learn about themselves, the things that they don't know about themselves. So why is educating a client so important? Well, simply stated, it is the things that they don't know about themselves. Okay, and now there's a beautiful term. It is Greek, and I'm going to try my best at pronouncing that one. And it's anosognosia, which is a fancy way of saying they don't know that they have a problem. Okay, now a lot of times we may see this as client counseling relationship that we're developing as a level of denial or possibly resistance to counseling. Or we may see them as just being a difficult client to work with, when in all actuality, the possibility is that they don't know that they have a problem, a disorder of some kind, or some other struggle that they're dealing with. Okay, so the National Alliance of Mental Illness is an outstanding resource, and we're going to talk more about that in a minute. But concerning this aspect of not knowing, here's a beautiful quote that I got from NAMI. Early studies of anosognosia indicate that approximately 30% of people with schizophrenia and 20% of people with bipolar disorder experience severe lack of awareness of their diagnosis. Treating mental health conditions is much more complicated if lack of insight is one of the symptoms, and off topic, it is in many cases. So, people with anosognosia are placed at increased risk of homelessness or arrest, legal issues. Learning to understand anosognosia and its risk can improve the odds of helping people with this difficult symptom. So really what I'm wanting to point out here is educating your client is more than just telling them about a disorder. It's helping them see that they may be struggling with it. Taking those criteria from the DSM and applying it to their lives and helping them recognize what is going on and how it connects. What we're doing is we're connecting the dots, allowing them to see the picture in a new way. So really, in order to educate your client, you have to be educated first and foremost. The website NAMI, National Alliance for Mental Illness, is an outstanding resource for you to go to. You can print off their material, you can share it with them, as well as the family members of your clients. Oftentimes your family that you're working with is the client more so than just an individual. Okay, so there is the website nami.org/home. And below I have put together a list there. There's a whole bunch more, but there's a list there of the different areas that that website can educate on, and they have printouts that you can share and other information bits. The diagnosis of ADHD, bipolar, dissociative disorders, PTSD, schizoaffective disorder, schizophrenia, risks of suicide, and the differences there of self-harm. This is very important material to have you can share with your clients and their families. It does a couple things. It allows them to realize the numbers, the problems, and the issues that are related that are different from each of these disorders. And yes, you have to know this stuff well enough to be able to identify the criteria when you see them. And we've got resource number 2, the National Institute of Mental Health, or NIH. The website is nimh.nih.gov. And in that, you're going to want to look at the health topics. That is a massive website. It is huge. You'll be amazed when you're in there. It's easy to get lost because there's so much in there to look at. So you want to go into the health topics, and they have some excellent training materials for not just for you, but also that you can share with your clients. So we're moving into the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the SAMHSA, Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration. Their website is SAMHSA.gov. Here you're going to find pretty much everything that you could possibly find with regards to substance abuse and co-occurring disorders, where there's a mental health issue and a substance abuse issue or dependency happening simultaneously. Now, I want to point out they've got some excellent practitioner training. You want to look that one up. Go to the website for practitioner training. I'm going to probably put this in the link with the video, so you'll be able to get the download if you need it. So we're getting close to being done here. We're now looking at the Depression and Bipolar Support Alliance. This organization, a few years back, did a name change, but it looks to me from getting on the web that they have returned to their old name of DBSA, which I think was a good move, personally. In any case, the website there is dbsalliance.org. Excellent location specifically for depression and bipolar disorder. This one has not only educational material, but nationwide support group materials, family education materials, and it really helps to break a lot of the stereotyping and the stigma that goes with having mental illness. The other ones, the National Institute as well as NAMI, they both do that as well. But this one here is specific to depression and bipolar disorder. So I want to spend a few minutes here talking about some statistics. I got this one from the NAMI website, just a simple snippet from their website page. All of this should be in quotations, so it's all from NAMI. In any case, read through this. This is absolutely amazing numbers to take into account. As of 2020, 21% of U.S. adults experience a mental illness. That's 52.9 million people in the U.S. in 2020. That turns into 1 in 5. So 1 out of 5 people are dealing with some form of mental illness in the U.S. That may be as simple as a generalized anxiety disorder to as severe as a chronic schizophrenia. Additionally, sort of roll down through their percentages or prevalence of mental illness among U.S. adults by demographic group. Kind of fascinating numbers, the numbers by themselves, they don't really mean a lot. But when we put them into context of our populations that we're working with, they can become very interesting. Helping people to normalize their situations, that they are not alone, that there are other people dealing with the same or similar issues. So here we go. We've wrapped up. This one, like I said, was going to be short. The intention here is to just say client education is extremely important. You're going to want to have handouts. You're going to want to have enough knowledge to talk intelligently about the problems. That way you can share it with families and be able to see what they're seeing. And ultimately, in the beginning, have them teach you. It's kind of funny. We think we're the ones that know everything about the mental illness that their families are dealing with, but they've lived it. We haven't. And so client education is really a two-way street. And I want to point that out to you because as you're doing the job of counseling and giving the education at the facilities, the hospitals, the outpatient programs, the outreach programs, you need to know it, but they're the ones that are living it. They can explain it to you in ways that we can only imagine. Now, it's also real important to recognize that your client education time does count towards your direct contact hours. And so if you have group sessions that are education oriented, they apply as well. And that's why it's also important to have information as well as handouts where you can challenge those mythologies, challenge those stereotypes, and help to bring down the stigma. It is slowly coming down, but every generation has another layer of stigma that we have to address. So, in any case, welcome to Supervision. We're going to wrap this one up. This one's a short one, and I want to point out, guys, you do need to have the ability to teach what you have learned over your education and your experience to your clients. So, until next time, keep doing what you're doing, stay ethical, and develop yourself. Work on the areas you need to work on.